Thank you, Sudhir, for joining us. Could you please explain the hoopla around Kamal Hassan's film? Why is there so much controversy around it? And you've not only seen the film but also have covered South Indian politics for over 10 years now. So, can you explain the controversy in greater detail, please?
It's very unfortunate that Vishnu is getting this kind of a response, not necessarily because Kamal Haasan has invested a lot in this movie, not because it is a 95 crore film, but essentially because it's a film which should have been really seen by most people. Contrary to what many people say, this is not an anti-Muslim film. There is really, in fact, no content in the film that Muslims would find objectionable. In fact, it has been running since Saturday in theatres in Andhra Pradesh, in Hyderabad, where I saw, and no one who in the theatre had really had anything to say about the content in the film which was objectionable in any way, which makes one believe that there is some kind of political motive behind this entire whole, as you mentioned. Kamal Hassan briefly alluded to it in his morning press conference when he said that he has been trashed in this political game, and not just him, also his Muslim brethren. He didn't really say who was behind it, but really the hints were pretty clear. When I spoke to some political analysts in Tamil Nadu, for instance, one of the foremost for them, Nani Sankaran, he believed that Jayalalitha, the Tamil Nadu government, is really trying to consolidate the Muslim vote, given that the general elections are due next year, by doing this kind of effort to woo the Muslims. And in a sense, given the kind of harsh language the Advocate General used in the Madras High Court yesterday, calling the certification agency a scam, saying that no application of mine had been done while certifying these films, makes one feel that they are trying to belittle the central government, given the fact that the Central Censor Board is a statutory agency, trying to make people believe that the UPA government, the central government, does not really have the interests of the Muslim community at heart. Not that all these kind of things really would matter to the Muslims when they go to cast their vote in the elections, because after all, they also realize that this is just a movie and nothing more than that. But given the fact that even the DMK, former Chief Minister M. Karunanidhi, only appealed to Kamal Hassan that he should sit with the Muslim organization members and try to sort out the problem. He did not mention that once a censor board has made a movie, there should really be no arguments against it. But given the fact that a PIL has also been admitted in the Andhra Pradesh High Court that will come up for hearing on Monday, the Madras High Court is going to again hear petitions against arguments in this particular case, and perhaps the case may even go to the Supreme Court, really makes one believe that it is not just a case of cultural terrorism as Kamal Hassan referred to it initially. Today you have Mahesh referring to it as state terrorism. Makes one believe that there is some kind of a political game really being played out in this entire Rupam controversy.
Right, but also doesn't this entire political game fall flat on its face when you see that neighboring states like Andhra Pradesh and Kerala that have sizable Muslim populations, where the film has run for a few days now and there have been no communal tensions whatsoever. So for an outsider, this entire game kind of really is pointless.
Well, absolutely. As you mentioned, Kerala, with a 24% population, has had no issues whatsoever since Friday, when theatres are running houseful with Vishwarupam being screened. Hyderabad has a 41% population, and yet you have had no issues whatsoever with both Tamil and Telugu versions being released. Since morning, and I was expecting this, there has been trouble in the outside theatres in Chennai, in some other district towns of Tamil Nadu, in a sense conveying that there is some kind of a concerted attempt being made to ensure that there is some kind of a law and order issue, and therefore the Madras High Court should immediately stay the release of the film, which is precisely what has happened. So there is some kind of a game plan being played out by people whose identity really not very clear at this point in time. There have been a couple of reasons which has been speculated around in whispers in Tamil Nadu, people talking about, of course, entirely unsubstantiated at this point in time. In December, just a month ago, you had Kamal Hassan at a book release function praising P. Chidambaram, which was a little uncharacteristic given the fact that Kamal Hassan generally steers clear of all political issues. He said that a dhoti-clad Tamilian should become the Prime Minister of this country, and that's what he aspires as a Tamilian. This was picked up by Karunanidhi, who also spoke about it in the same vein. Subsequently, during the release of the film, during the talks, negotiations for the release of the film, there was speculation that perhaps Jaya TV would get the satellite rights for Vishwarupam. Eventually, it did not happen. Kamal Hassan sold it as a producer of the film to Vijay TV, which obviously gave him a better price.
these two reasons are speculated as perhaps some of the sore points between Jayalalitha and Kamal Hassan, as a result of which probably the state government is taking such a harsh, such a tough line against the release of the film. But yes, there is a strong case now that perhaps Kamal Hassan will take the case to the Supreme Court. And a point to be noted here is that in the case of Arakshan, the Supreme Court had made it very clear, Prakash Jha took 3 states to the Supreme Court, that nothing like this kind of bans are not really very good for creative pursuits like cinema. But yes, Kamal Hassan, of course, in a very disturbing kind of outburst, he also spoke about leaving Tamil Nadu, and that is something which Tamil Nadu really should feel very embarrassed about, that a very celebrated icon, a very celebrated son of Tamil Nadu should talk about leaving Tamil Nadu and go to any other secular state in India, and even if that is not possible, even leave India just like MF Hussain did.
Right. Lastly, keeping all the conspiracy theories aside, if you only look at the politics, the speculated politics behind this, how clever it is, politically speaking, for a leader in Tamil Nadu to take on a star such as Kamal Hassan, because Tamil Nadu has always been the state where they've worshipped their stars. So she's kind of taken on somebody whom people in general worship. Politically speaking, how does this fit in? Is it a political move that a leader in Tamil Nadu would actually do in all their senses?
In the sense that it has always been a very uneasy relationship between film stars and politicians. Many of the politicians have actually come from Kollywood, as the Tamil film industry is referred to, whether it is MGR or Jayalalitha. Karunanidhi was a celebrated scriptwriter. You have the opposition leader Vijaykanth, who was a popular hero. So you have had many of them actually coming from films. But despite that, there has been always this very uneasy relationship. I remember a very top actor of the Tamil film industry telling me during the DMK regime that he was virtually forced into a movie, just asked to come and report on sets at a particular, on a few, the dates given, saying that he has to report for the film, no script shown, no remuneration spoken about. You have had Vijay, who's a top actor in the Tamil film industry, having a tough time having his films released during the DMK regime just because he and his father owed allegiance to the AIDMK. Things have subsequently got better for Vijay after the AIDMK came to power, even though his last film Tupaki ran into trouble with the same Muslim organizations which wanted certain cuts. They had objections to certain scenes, and eventually some 5 cuts were agreed to with the A certificate. Vadivelu, a very popular comedian in Tamil cinema, has virtually been boycotted ever since 2011, May 2011, when the AIDMK came to power, just because he aggressively campaigned for the DMK in the last assembly polls. Which is why it's actually a little worrisome that the Tamil film industry has not really rallied behind Kamal Hassan at this point in time, except for a Rajinikanth who made a statement, a Bharti Raja, Prakash Raj, or an Ajit. None of the other film stars have come out in visible support. You've had actors like Khushbu or the younger stars like Jayam Ravi, Siddharth, Jeeva, or Vishal tweeting their support for Kamal Hassan, but nothing more than that. That, I'm afraid, may not be enough at this point in time, given the fact that Tamil film industry has a habit of actually sitting on fast, whether it was on the Kaveri issue or whether the Sri Lanka issue. So they do come out in support of issues in a very visible manner. In fact, just earlier this month, they had actually had a protest against the service tax regulations which are imposed on the film industry. So it is important for the film industry also to rally behind Kamal Hassan, because what has happened to Kamal today could actually happen to any one of them in the Tamil film industry at a later point in time. So this is something which the film industry will have to remember. They will have to set aside their personal differences that they may have with Kamal at an individual level, and remember that it's actually some kind of an assault, some kind of an onslaught on the creative pursuits. It is cinema, it could be writers tomorrow, or it could be any other creative medium. But the Tamil film industry has a duty at this point in time to rally behind Kamal Hassan.
Great. Thank you so much, Sudhir, for putting perspective on things. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.